This is the Motorola Charm for T-Mobile and coming soon to TELUS. If you've seen our unboxing video of the phone, you already have a pretty good idea of how the hardware looks. You know, it's very wide for the keyboard, but it's slim. It has a nice weight to it. So if you want to know more about how it feels physically, you can check the unboxing video. For now, we're going to take a look at the software. And the hardware plays a big part in how the software runs because it has this little 2.8-inch screen. So there are going to be a lot of apps that you're unable to use because they're not designed for what's called a QVGA screen. Unless the developer goes back and fixes it for that particular version, it's not going to look well. And there's going to be cases where it is compatible, but it's still not a good experience. So we're going to take a look at this now. Here's a lock screen. This is running Android 2.1 at the moment, and it's running Motorola's custom Moto Blur interface. I'm sure you've seen it before. You know, it adds a lot of aggregation, a lot of enhancement and widgets and things of that nature. It has your Facebook updates, MySpace, Twitter, etc. piped into one place. It has like what's called a universal inbox, so your multiple email addresses, your multiple social networks, it all blends into your Blur account. So we're going to take a quick look at something right now, and that's the widgets. Widgets are like happenings. They show you what's going on, and they're also resizable. So when I hold down on one, you see these little things come up. So I'm going to expand it. Alright, and now the widget is extended to that size. When I come over here and I click on it, it brings up the status updates of my friends on Twitter, Facebook, etc. I can enter my own status updates, or I can choose what services I want to look at. So if I only want to look at Twitter updates, I select that, or I only want to post to Twitter, I should say, and then I type that message and press post. It goes to my Twitter account. Now, like I said, the hardware does affect the software. It's not going to show up too much on video, but normally when you see live wallpaper, it has like a nice gradient, smooth colors. You don't get that on the Charm because of the small screen. For whatever reason, I don't know if it's just the screen quality, it's a TFT LCD, or it's basically you're crunching so much into a small confined space, it doesn't look as good. For instance, the gradient is not smooth here at all. When I'm looking at it in my eyes, it's not going to come up on video, but it's very like a woven look. You can see where the lines intersect with each other. It's not a smooth transition from top to bottom at all. I said it in the review that's available for now at Androica.com. There's points when you're looking at the screen, you're going to think you're looking at a Game Boy Color because of how grainy or pixelated everything is, and how the overall quality is just not where it should be. There are a lot of widgets that come with the Motorola Charm. You know, it's running Blur. I'm sure you've seen it before. You've got your settings widgets, and one setting that I really like is this one right here, and that's the little gesture pad that you have on the back. I believe the official thing they call it is a trackpad. But basically, when this turns on, you can use this kind of like a mouse pointer or something. So as you see, I'm not touching the screen or the buttons of any kind, and yet it still moves because when I move back here, it reflects on the screen. And it's really cool. When I double tap, this little pointer comes up, and I can use it to launch an app. So I click on Mark It, and it brings it up. You may have seen this on the back flip. I believe it's much more practical here because you have a small space as is. So, you know, if you put your finger here, you're taking up half the screen. So you want to optimize space. Sometimes it's just better to have this little scroller in the back, and it can be good. This is the contacts application, and I'm not too keen on this because it's a little cluttered at times. But thankfully, you can do some filtering. You can display only by your Google contacts, only by Facebook, etc. If I put it on all contacts, it'll be every connection that I have for Twitter, Facebook, etc. It can also take a little while to load sometimes. Like for instance, I click on this contact, you saw me touch it, and I'm still talking and sitting and waiting, and oh yeah, now it decides to come up. So you saw the delay time that it took, which is really bad, I feel. And if I want to call someone, I can call them. And I can also see the link profiles here. So if this person is connected to me on Facebook or Twitter, I just press that and their profile page will come up. I can browse through all of my contacts. When you swipe right, it brings up that person's status on wherever you know them. So for instance, I click on one contact and it takes a while to load again, like I say. And when it finally loads, well, whatever, I'm gonna move on. You get the point. It's not as good as it should be. And this is the launch application. It comes with Quick Office in case you want to open up excuse me, open up Microsoft Documents. It has a decent news reader, phone portal, My Account, which helps you manage your T-Mobile account, My Device, which helps you monitor your lots of stuff. It monitors caller tunes, wallpapers you download, ringtones. It provides some tips and tools, how to improve battery life, etc. Battery life is not that great on the Charm. It's pretty downright bad, but thankfully they include an extended life battery for free. So basically you've got 2 batteries in one, and the extended one doesn't add too much bulk, and it's a decent increase in performance. There's lots of apps that you can go through. If you've seen Blur, you pretty much know what to expect with Charm. It's just Blur condensed into a really tight screen, and it's running Android 2.1. This is Andrew from Madronica.com.